Welcome to BomiChess. Today we're going to talk about one of the most famous studies in chess. This is famous Saavedra Position. This one is from 19th century. And it's named after a Spanish priest who gave solution to one part of the problem that we'll see later on. So first, when it appeared on the board, it looked a little bit different. This pawn was on c7. Also this king was somewhere on the h file. And during the time, they put this king on a1. And then they said that when this pawn was here, it's black to play and make a draw. But this Spanish priest, Fernando Saavedra, he saw the position and he saw that the solution is not correct. This cannot be a draw for black, this is win for white actually. So that's why the position has his name. And the final touch in the position gave Emanuel Lasker in 1902 when he moved this pawn from c7 to c6. And then he said it's white to play and win. So if you want, you can pause the video here and try to find a solution for this one. Good luck. Okay, so let's see what's the deal here. You can play with the king or with the pawn. So if you play with the king somewhere here, for example to b7, now the rook can come to this c file and it's gonna prevent this pawn from queening. So in some of the next moves, black rook is simply going to take this pawn and this is a draw. So this is not good for white. So of course this doesn't make sense. Rook can simply go here or even to c file. So the first move for white is very simple, straightforward, pawn to c7. And now let's see, this rook cannot come here because the pawn is guarding that square. So if you try to move somewhere here, now you can simply queen the pawn. So with precise play, white is going to win here. So the best option for black here is actually to give the check. Rook to d6 check. And now if white tries to move the king up the board, now this is still a draw. Now we can just pin this pawn, and next move we are going to take this pawn and that's it. So this is not good for white as well. So king must go here to the 5th rank. If you try to play king to c5, this is like intuitive move, attacking the rook. Now this is not good because rook can simply move down the board, and next move, whatever you do, rook to c1 is gonna win your queen. So this is not good as well. So now the best option for white is to play king to b5. And now whatever rook does, if it goes here, it's not good because now you can take the queen and there's no rook to c1. So now the best option for black is actually to give the check to d5 check. Now still you cannot play this because the rook to d1, next move is going to win the pawn. So the best move for white is of course not to go back, because for black is just fine, we can repeat moves and that's a draw. So white goes to b4. And now still rook to d4 check. But now the issue is that white is trying to get to this c2 square and is going to be protecting this c1 square. So here king can go to b3 or c3. Either one is going to work for him. So let's say king to c3. And after rook to d1, now white can simply play this king to c2. And now it's guarding this square, so there's no rook to c1 because white is going to take it. But now there is the critical position where the players saw the opportunity to make a draw as a black. So that's why they said that this is a draw. But let's see. Rook to d4, this is the trick. And now white said, I'm gonna just take the queen, give me the queen. And now we have this trick, rook to c4 check. Check and attacking the queen. And now if queen takes the rook, this square is guarded by the queen. So black king is stuck here and this is a draw. This is stalemate. So it's not good for white to do this, but now after rook to d4, Saavedra saw the win. You promote the pawn, but you take the rook. And now what's the issue? Black king is stuck in the corner, so next move, rook to a8 is gonna be checkmate. So the only way for black to prevent this is rook to a4, but now we have this king to b3, attacking the rook. Wherever you move your rook, the next move, rook to c1, this is checkmate. So this was famous Saavedra position. I hope that you liked the video. Write down in the comments what you think about it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!